Good evening, pipe friends. Hope everybody's had a good day. It's a little, yeah, it's evening. It's 5:30. Hadn't been in long, just kind of unwinding. Thought I would make a little video here. I tell you, Mike, it's all about pipes. Friend of mine. Some of the winnings that he sent me up, I'm still going through them and enjoying. About 90% of them are really good. There's a couple in there that I wasn't real that I didn't care much for, and that's. But I tell you what, out of the 16 he sent me, I've got about 13 of them, 14 that are really good, and one that yeah, my favorites tend to. I'm one of those guys that I guess shit changes whichever way the wind blows. I don't know if it's good or bad about a favorite, but I tell you, it don't take long for. I got so many favorites. I'm not going to put this one up as my favorite, but it's in the top. And I don't know. I'm going to do a top 5 and a top whatnot during the year, but it's just so getting harder and harder to pick a favorite. I've got so many, and one's my favorite now, and 3 months later it's down. It's still a favorite, but it's just something else has come along. And one of the ones I want to share with y'all that he sent and tell you about that is just absolutely great. And this is the second MacBaren product that I've ever tried. The first one being plum cake, and this one is an aromatic called vanilla cream. And he sent me a ton of that stuff, and let me tell you, if all MacBaren's products are that way, there are several that I'm going to try. I'm going to put together an order here the next couple of weeks from pipesandcigars.com, and of course Squadron Leader, which is not a MacBaren, is on my list. But there's 2 or 3 MacBarens that I'm wanting to try more and more. And of course, John tells us that as part of this, Sutliff has partnered with MacBaren now, and I'm hoping that he sends out some of those to review because they are truly good too. But I'm smoking the MacBaren Vanilla Cream in this little Aldo Valenti. I can't even think. I'm losing my mind. It's rusticated. I'm just losing it today, y'all. Anyway, you get the picture there. And I like this pipe. I picked this one up at the pipe shop in Little Rock a couple of years back, and this is just a good all-around versatile. You can light this one with a big. You don't have to worry about scorching the bowl and whatnot. And this is the first time I've ever smoked it. Smoked the MacBaren Vanilla Cream in it, and smokes good. I smoke a lot of cherries in this. I had to give it a good salt treatment the other day. To kind of get some of that ghosting out, because a cherry will ghost it up, and this is the one I smoke. I smoke cherry in a lot of corn cobs, but I did notice, and I don't know. Y'all help me out with this. It was a tad dry, and maybe when I got it, and maybe it's supposed to be. But I don't like a real dry tobacco, and I may have probably screwed this up. Well, not for long. It'll correct itself. But I've got some of these little discs. So this, all you do is run them under water, and they're reusable. That's the thing I like about them. You can wash them. You don't do any ghosting. Wash them out in warm water. Set them out. Let them dry. They're good to go. You can put them. Lord, I've had them in stout English blends, stout aromatics, put them into straight Virginias, and it does not adulterate any of your tobaccos. You gotta rinse them out, but it will do the job. Well, this being such a big jar, I mean, it's not a huge jar, but it's bigger, like this little jar of pistachio. You know, it's certainly bigger than that. So what did I do? I put 2 in there. I said, well, and I put one kind of down in there and one in the top, and I put the top on and shook it up. Well, it's pretty moist now. And it's not too moist. But one of the things I've noticed today in it is all of a sudden it's got a tad of tongue bite in it. Not bad. And it had none. Of course, I've been smoking it mostly in the, my little Bjorn and my 2 favorite pots smoking in is a little Bjorn pot and the little pot I got off of eBay, God, I can't think of nothing today. Come from Tinderbox. And no tongue bite. So I'm wondering if maybe moistening it up some caused that, or maybe can a pipe cause that? I don't know. You know, the difference between those 2 pipes are the only ones I've smoked in. This is the first time to smoke it in this little Aldo Bellini. And Dublin. Good grief. It's a little Aldo Bellini Dublin, and I'm losing it, but it's not a bad tongue bite, but it's there today, and it has not been. And I'm drinking Coke, and I've drank Coke before. That's not it. And with it being a little more moist, it's not staying lit as good either. But it is a truly good smoke. Like I say, if all MacBarens are this way, well, they're fast. Them and Sutliff are fast becoming my favorite tobacco makers. And the vanilla cream is not. The vanilla don't just jump out there at you. Some of them are so heavy in the vanilla. It's just like, oh. You know, something you want every now and then, or even you need to tone it down a little bit with a good Virginia or Burley. Nah, not this one. And this one looks like it has some Cavendish in it, and it's certainly got some Virginias, and probably some Burleys too. I haven't researched it to see, but the vanilla is very subtle in it, and it's just got that good MacBaren taste to it. I can taste some of the same makeups, minus the Latakia, that's in plum cake. It's truly a good tobacco. Boy, it has been hot. My goodness, we're paying for that reprieve we had in June and July. We had a mild summer down here in Louisiana, and a lot of other parts of the country did too. But boy, we're paying for it now. It looks like we got 4 or 5 more weeks of this stuff to go. But we had a good one up until then. Sure did. Surely did. And heat index today was 107 or 8, maybe. I think the actual temperature broke 100 here today. But on the way home a while ago, when I got in the truck, and we're further north on the lake up there where I work from my house, and it was showing normally it's a couple of degrees cooler up there. You get right on the water, and for some reason or other, I guess the humidity goes up. But anyhow, the closer I got back in, it actually was showing 96 when I pulled up my driveway. It was showing 98 when I left the little town of Farmersville. Farmersville, a lake town. Where our restaurant is. It's about 23 miles from where I live. We've got a long drive through the country every day, through the backwoods, I call it, to get there. It's a good little jump, but we're used to it. And I'm working on another deal which will put me back in the city of Monroe, which is about 12 miles the other direction. Of course, Monroe, it's not a big town. It's about 60,000 people. West Monroe is probably 20, somewhere between 20 and 25, and they're right together. A river, the Washita River, separates them. We have parishes here rather than counties, and Washita Parish has about 175, 180, I'm thinking. But now the little town where our restaurant is has 3,500. The parish is a huge mileage-wise parish, but only has about 22,000 people. Really good people there. I've always been a big fan of Mayberry, Andy Griffith, and my brother, who 6 years ago when we bought the restaurant, or 7 nearly now, I was a little hesitant to go up there because a lot of times people in small towns can be somewhat clannish, you know. And my brother's a chiropractor, and he's been up there now about 17 years, 16, 17. And he got wind that this restaurant was sale, and so we went up and negotiated. And I said, look, the only thing that's my only drawback is we're an outsider, and a lot of these people can be clannish. And he said, no, I'm telling you, it's not that way. Emily was born about 4 months after we went there. She came to that restaurant when she was about 3 or 4 days old, brought her up. At lunch, they were lined up to see that baby. We had her on the back, and they lined up, and they had brought her gifts. Christmas, they bring that child gifts. They remember her birthday. They took to that little girl, and she truly became one of them, and a lot more so than we did, you know. But they are good people there in Farmerville, Louisiana. They are some of the nicest people you would ever want to meet, and they really welcomed us and have treated us well. And but my brother, talking about Mayberry, he said, well, you always, I used to say, boy, I'd love to live in Mayberry. You know? He says, the closest you're ever going to get. And that's not putting off on them at all. I mean, I'm saying that with compliments. That is a good thing. And truly good people. Truly good people. But if any of y'all ever get up this way, holler at me, you know. I'll treat you to some good ribs, barbecue ribs. Get a plate of brisket or some chicken, or, you know, smoked chicken, or we do ribs, brisket, ham, chicken, pulled pork, sausage, smoked turkey. Man, we smoke a lot of whole turkeys around the holidays, and of course my wife does homemade pies. That's one of our specialties up there. And of course we do plate lunches during the day from 11 to 2. Like today was hamburger steak, and of course today we had pork loin. Normally we have pork chops on Thursday, but we kind of started rotating them out. But we do beef tips, we do meatloaf, dressing, dumplings, just different things. And it's really helped us because the thing with barbecue is we had to figure out a way in that small town. We needed to see people more than just every week, every 10 days, 2 weeks. And barbecue is just unfortunately one of those that, you know, and I'm the same way. Before I got in the barbecue business, it's just not something I want every day. I might get on a kick and eat it twice pretty quick, but then, you know, I'm good for a week or two. And then, you know, might want it again. So we needed to see these customers more. And so we added the plate lunches and added some po' boy sandwiches and loaded baked potatoes. We do a smoked pit potato that we put any smoked meat topping on and some other stuff. And so the plate lunches, we've got people we see every day now. The same old people that come day in, day out, and several of them we see multiple times in a week. And so it worked out. A little more work involved in it, but we had to. It was hard to survive just doing barbecue in a town that size, you know. So, but anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up and finish off this bowl of MacBarens, and I've got some yard work to do. I'm gonna wait till closer to dark though, because it's still hot, and I may even wait and do it early in the morning, or it's doggone hot, I may just let it go. Look, we'll catch up with y'all a little later. Have a good one, and God bless.